Hi, well, I thought it might be quite interesting to have a quick look around the studio from the perspective of what it's like here when I'm recording. What I do is I've got this gondola, I suppose you could call it, with the preamps and a couple of compressors and headphone outs, etc. on this with wheels. You can see down there. I can just wheel over from the position I'm in when I'm mixing, when I'm editing, and then obviously the MacBook, which I'm tracking on Pro Tools 10, working on a track at the minute for Colin Edwin from Porcupine Tree. And so what have we got in terms of kit? Well, we've got it's all Mapex Saturn drums, one of the Black Panther Retrosonic snare drums, Peisty, what are these? Peisty Signature Range, Dark Energy Ride, and the two crashes at the minute up here, and then some 20 series 13-inch hi-hats, and that's about it kit wise. Just changed to Remo Emperor clears on this. I've still got the vintage ambassadors on the other Saturn kit that's got the die-cast tubes on it. Plenty of moon gel on the snare drum. Nice fat sound. So what have we got miking wise? Let's start at the bottom. Well, inside the bass drum, if you guys can see this, I've got it outputted on a XLR that's fixed into the shell, an internal mic that's on a suspension system, and that's one of the Bayer kick mics, the model I can't remember right now, and then a TJX 50 on the outside on the resonant head, and then this box here next to it with the sticker on it is just a speaker, an old Sony speaker sub, and then just a packing blanket over the top of it just to kind of clean it up a bit. So 3 mics on the bass drum, and then over to the snare drum. We've got one of these Bayer M930s, which is a cardioid condenser, and then a Shure SM58 without the top on it, which is basically makes it a 57 according to Mr. Simon Phillips. But I'm not using this one at the minute, just using the Bayer, which has kind of got a nice punchy sound to it. But they kind of pretty much just stay on the snares. And then underneath you've got one of these Bayer Dynamic TG57Cs. Pick up the snare wires. You can do some cool stuff with compression and gating between the top and bottom snare drums mics to get some really good interesting sounds out of that. And then up to the hi-hats, another M950 Bayer again, pointing at the edge. Got to be a little bit careful with the crash that's right next to it in terms of finding the null point of the mic. Another 57C on the rack tom here. You can see it's got a very clear sound on those condenser mics, and another one on the floor tom here. And then what have we got? Well, we've got a pair of these beautiful M160s, again Bayer Dynamic ribbon mics, sound awesome. They're kind of just mounted on the ceiling, as you can see, and going to this breakout box up here, which then feeds down to a couple of tie lines that are on the tie lines that go to the back here, right behind me. So that's kind of what we've got. Oh, and a couple of room mics. Well, they're not really room mics, they're kind of just further away overheads. These are great mics. Red Audio RG85s, I believe they are. They're designed for kind of theatre work, and there's another one over there. And kind of choral stuff that you might suspend from a venue's ceiling, and they sound great. Really cool on the drums, real full sound, and I guess that's kind of it really. Nothing too. Oh, maybe a couple of bits and pieces. There's a speaker down there, a Sony speaker that's from my reel-to-reel. Another one over there in the corner, and a couple of bits and pieces up there. You can just see the cabling for them, but let's see if I can get to it. Well, there's a speaker attached to that lead, which sounds kind of funky in certain situations under this gobo. And that's kind of it from the drumming position. All going to these tie lines, pair of cans, and I'll go through what the preamps and stuff are as and when I get to kind of edit these tracks down a little.